Well, now we're going to do our roasted potatoes. Let's set up our fry pan in a medium heat. Okay, how we do that? Let's go to in a bowl. Let's go to put like that. 1 cup the shredded potatoes, that's pre-cooked. Put the seasoning with salt, horseradish, and a little butter. Also, don't forget to add a pinch of pepper. Put those nicely. Let's just make a nice patty with a cookie cutter or something you have at home. Press very well.
For everyone at home making this, just remember, we do include horseradish in your kit, but if you are not a horseradish fan or you don't like the heat of horseradish, you can certainly leave it out.
Now, we have already nice temperature in our pan. Let's start. Fry it until we get nice golden brown color. Okay, it's going well. Let's check now our tomato confit. How we do it? Wow, it's coming nicely. You can see it. It's coming nicely. Maybe 2 more minutes. It'll be done.
So while Chef's finishing his potato roasty, just want to talk about, for our wine drinkers at home, I want to talk a little bit about, wines that would be great with this pairing. Again, tuna, pretty forgiving. It's definitely considered a steak fish, so you can really go with what you love. But for the Cajun seasoning with the flavor profile that we have with this dish, I would personally recommend something with a little bit more body. Chenin Blanc would be an excellent choice. If you're looking for something a little bit more readily available, white blend out of California or Washington, something that's you can really get at any store. It's going to pair really well with this and not overpower the tuna, and the tuna won't really overpower the wine. So. And with that, it looks like Chef's about finished with our roasting.
Yep. Our potato roasting looks great. Nice caramelization on top. To set aside. Now, I think it's ready our tomato confit too. Yeah. Our tomato confit looks great.
Now, obviously, as people in restaurants, we throw around a lot of French words. Confit is a simple French term. It translates to in its own oil or in its own fat. And that is really a phrase that in the kitchen we use for everything. So if we make a tomato confit, if we make a pork confit, if we make a beef confit, typically that's something cooked in its own fat. So in this case, we're cooking vegetables in vegetable oil. In the case of pork, we would typically cook that in pork fat, duck in duck fat, etc., etc. But it just adds a layer of richness to the food and allows us to slow cook without having to worry about burning or the flavor changes that you get from braising. So.
Okay, now let's get to start assemble our first course. Our tuna, angle.
Very, very important. Make sure when you slice tuna, you have a very sharp knife. Tuna has a habit of tearing, and you want to make sure that you get a nice clean slice. Otherwise, it looks a little bit ragged.
Now, to our tomato confit. basil oil. And finally, let's get to garnish it with some microgreens. Done. Seared Cajun ahi tuna, potato roasty, basil oil, and cherry tomato confit.